Hello and welcome to the Child Care Consultation Program's series on sleep. This is episode number 2. In the first episode, we talked about the difficulties that our culture is having with sleep, how this is a society-wide problem, and that there's not going to be an overnight solution, if you will, to the difficulties that we face in getting good sleep for ourselves and for our children. So again, be patient with yourselves, be patient with your children. It's about doing what works. It's about making small changes over time and knowing that we're in this for the long term. We're building long-term habits for our families. And so today we're going to be talking specifically about the first intervention that we're going to be using. We'll be moving through a number of different interventions. The first intervention is just to see what it is that we're doing right now, to become aware. And sometimes this can be the most important intervention that we suggest for families, just to take a step back and to look and see what is it we're doing right now. We want to be aware of what it is that we're doing. So we want to be looking at our schedules. We want to be looking at the habits in the home. We just want to see what it is that's going on right now. We want to find out what time our children are going to sleep on average. How much sleep are they getting on average? And sometimes parents will guess about this or give a really wide range of time. So we're wanting to look at what time we put them to bed on average. And sometimes this could be like an hour or an hour and a half period, depending on the family. So we're wanting to see, is that the case? And then we're wanting to look and see what time does the child actually fall asleep. That in and of itself is going to tell us a lot. Is the child in there for an hour tossing and turning? Are they playing? Are they falling right to sleep? Are they exhausted? That's going to be important information for us. And then what time am I waking them up, or what time are they waking themselves up? That difference there is going to be very important. Am I having to wake them up? Are they waking up on their own? And what do they look like when they wake up? Are they fatigued? Are they tired? Are they irritable? Are they jumping out of bed with lots of energy? That's going to tell us, again, a lot about the quality of the sleep that they're getting. They may have been asleep for a long time, but if they're waking up groggy and irritable, it may not be enough for them, because the needs for individual children can vary. Or it can mean that the quality of the sleep that they're getting is not good. It might have been a restless sleep. It might have been a fitful, tossing and turning kind of a sleep. So now we're having to look at the quality of sleep. So we really just want to be, again, taking a step back right now, and we're just looking to see what is going on right now in our homes. How can we become more aware? So that's a little bit about what we call a schedule. The schedule is what time we do things. Then the routine that we have is the order in which we do things. So schedule is the time, routine is the order. So are we bathing the child? Are we having them brush their teeth? Are we reading to them? What order are we doing these things? Are we eating and then brushing our teeth? And then are we reading a story? And then are we, what order is it that we're doing these things? And we may find, taking a step back, that we don't have a set routine, that we're doing all those things, but we're doing them in a different order. This is going to tell us a lot, because the routines that we have in life, especially for small children, are going to be really beneficial. It's sending signals to their brain. It's sending signals to their body, hey, I'm getting ready to calm down and go to sleep. That's really true for all of us. A good routine helps us to become stable, and it helps our bodies and our minds to be prepared for what's coming next. And so if we don't have a routine, again, we're not going to get too upset. We're not going to freak out. We're just going to say, okay, there isn't really a routine. And so what would a good routine for our family be? Then the next thing we're going to look at are rituals. What are the rituals that our family has? Rituals are the things that we do that have meaning, or that give us meaning, or give our activities meaning. So prayers can be a ritual, bedtime kisses, the tuck-in. There's lots of things that caregivers do with children. Even older children need that ritual, a review of the day. I like the way you worked hard. I like the way that you got ready tonight. I really like you. I love you. I'm looking forward to our day tomorrow. That's a ritual. That's something that's giving meaning. And so when we do those things at bedtime, they can do a lot to kind of calm the child and prepare the child. So do we have rituals? This isn't the time to start creating them necessarily. We're just right now looking to see, do we have them? So again, the schedule is the time that we do things. The routine is the order in which we do things, and then rituals are, how do these things have meaning, or how do they add meaning to our children's lives? Then we want to start just looking at our children themselves, and we want to be noticing some of the cues that we might be seeing. So, when is it that they start to look tired? Are they looking tired all day? What are some other changes that we might have? Is there a period of time where they start to get a little fussier? Are they starting to whine more? Are they rubbing their eyes? Are they yawning? Are they resting their heads on their arms? So, are they eating dinner and wanting to put their head down? Are they having trouble sitting up? Are they kind of slouching in the chair and looking listless? All these are signs that our children may be tired. And again, the only cure for tiredness is rest and sleep. That's it. And so these are important cues, especially because the body and the brain get us ready for sleep. Sleep is a very complex thing. There's lots of things going on in our bodies that help us to fall asleep. We know that there's lots of hormones and other brain chemicals that all work together, and they're released when the body is ready to sleep, and they give us about a half an hour window for us to fall asleep. And what happens is sometimes the body says, okay, I think it's time for sleep. Here's some hormones. We're reducing neurotransmitters. We're calming some of the pleasure centers of the brain. We're relaxing. We're ready for sleep. If we push through that, we increase our activity. We start watching lots of television or spending time on electronic devices and giving lots of light and stimulation to the brain. We push through that and we get what we call our second wind, right? The second wind is when the body says, oh, I need more energy, so I'm going to release some endorphins. I'm going to give the body more energy. So then we can have a child who all of a sudden gets their second wind at 8 o'clock at night and they're active until 10. So we're wanting to watch now, and we're just wanting to say, okay, let's get good at noticing those cues. Let's just start to pay attention a little bit more. Let's do this as a family. Let's get all the caregivers on board, and let's start to notice those cues. We're also wanting to look at things like the room that the child is in. Is it comfortable? Do they have the right kind of bedclothes? Is it good for the temperature? Do they have lots of sheets and comforters, but it's really warm in the room, so it's hard for them to cool? The body needs to drop maybe 5 degrees in some cases in order for the body to fall asleep, so that's a really big temperature drop. So we're wanting to see, as the child got long flannel pajamas and it's July, they're going to be waking up. They're going to be sweaty. So is the room too light? We know that small children want to have some kind of a night light, but too much light can interfere with their sleep. We know study after study have shown us that too many hours spent with backlit screens, especially close to nighttime, is going to affect the body's activity level, the brain's activity level. And so again, we're wanting to move that screen time and any kind of unnatural light, as far away from bedtime as we can. So we just want to look and see, is our home really active at bedtime? Is it got a lot of light? Is our family practice to have a lot of TVs and screens on right before bedtime? So again, we're just wanting to look and see what's going on, and then we're going to be starting to talk after we have a really clear idea about what it is that we're going to do next. What are some of the things we're going to change? And our change is going to be small. It's going to be incremental, step by step. We're not going to overwhelm ourselves. We're not going to shock our family system, but we're going to make small progressive steps after we know exactly what's going on. So I invite you during this week to just take that time. Give yourselves at least a week just to really start noticing these rituals, these routines, these schedules, and the cues of our children. Until next time, thanks for watching.